On Sunday night, Austin FC played LA Galaxy for the sixth time in club history. And after a really interesting 90-minute match with a 3-hour rain delay, Austin FC was winning the match in a 3-1 score. But in the last 10 minutes of the match, Austin FC went up to choke the match and drew with the LA Galaxy in a 3-3 score, with the goals of Alex Green, Ethan Finley, and Emiliano Rigoni. And my reaction to this game itself was pretty much this. I was convinced from how good Austin FC was playing with a promising 3 points, but at the end I was a little confused from how exactly we choked the match. But before I get to that, let's look at the starting lineup. This lineup itself added to the strongest 11 for this 2023 season because that's how I saw it, a strong 11. We started with the 4-3-3 formation. We saw Jody Cascante back in action, serving his suspension when missed him out the match against the Red Bulls, and he was paired with Leo Bison, which meant that Alex Green was pushed up in the midfield with Danny Pereira, 2 players who were playing the 8, supporting the offense. And the one player that surprised me the most was, after a really good performance against the New York Red Bulls, Joao Valencia got the green light and started again playing the 6th, which means he was defending in the midfield and supporting in the defense the entire match. Front 3, Ethan Finley was back in action being a left winger, which meant that Driussi was back being as a winger, something we had to try out and get the win and go all out against LA Galaxy with the 3 points. And this time that Zardes and Bruin were both injured and Urruti was on the bench. So who started as a number 9? For the second time this season, Emiliano Rigoni was back being as a number 9. And you can say that this game against LA Galaxy, Rigoni put his good boots, shooting boots, and had a good performance against LA Galaxy. But the lineup itself, strong and solid. We look good on paper, but on the field, it's a whole different story. The entire 90-minute match, you could say that both teams were pretty even, facing up. One had momentum and the other did too. But from my point of view, LA Galaxy was looking much more better than Austin FC because they were just like us too. The finishing with many chances were, many chances, but the finishing wasn't that good. Austin FC on the defense, though, they were ready because they knew exactly what they were going to face up against Diego Fagundes and against Ricky Puig and, against Billy Sharp. But for Austin FC, we had some momentum when we had the ball every time. It only took 2 chances to open up the score for Austin FC. It was an intentional assist pass from Rigoni to Alex Green that Rigoni decides to shoot it with his right foot. Beautiful curve of a shot, taps it in or kicks it in. Boom, Austin FC is up 1-0. And this is the first time we are actually up in the early lead since, I believe, Sporting Kansas City's win. Then after that goal, Austin FC just decided to calm down and just go full defense because they knew exactly how a threat LA Galaxy is. Because every time LA Galaxy had the ball, they were just going for that tying goal and they were just being dominant. Remember how I said that Ricky Puig and Diego Fagundes with Billy Sharp, with mostly Ricky Puig, Rosell, and Diego Fagundes, those 3 players were covering up the midfield of LA Galaxy like their own field because for Austin FC, they knew how to face up against Diego Fagundes, but our defense were ready. 2 players who convinced me that our defense looked better in the first half. Leo Bison, he hasn't been the best player 100%, but in this game against LA Galaxy, I could say he improved the most because he had 2 clearances, one with Stuver and I believe one like in the air. Then Joao Valencia, he had a good performance against the Red Bulls and he followed up to this game against LA Galaxy. I believe Joao Valencia, he had 4 clearances, 4 interceptions, and he had a good passing rate of 91%. Whenever he needed someone to defend or to support, Danny Pereira was right there to support Joao Valencia because, Danny Pereira has played the 6 before, and he knew exactly what to do in that situation. But with Joao Valencia, good performance again. He was supported the entire time, making him as a 5th player in the defense, as a center back. I could see it in my point of view. But that all in because our mistake came to the very end, to the first half at the end. Because Jody Cascante gets a lot of heat, and this time he deserves it because he steps Ricky Puig right foot. One foot is outside, which is left foot, but his right foot is inside. And the ref says it's a PK, and obviously it's a clear PK. When one foot's inside the box, it's considered PK. So Ricky Puig steps up, takes the 11 steps, shoots it, and ties the match in a 1-1 score. Stuver had he almost saved it, but it went past his gloves. But you think to yourself, Austin FC is having a tie match, a really solid performance against LA Galaxy in the first half. I'm really convinced, but that didn't happen, and that changed until John Gallagher gave an assist pass to crossing the air to Ethan Finlay. Ethan Finlay, not the prettiest goal we've seen from him this season or for what Austin FC, but he taps it in, and Austin FC is up on the 2-1 score. The first half it's so promising, and I was convinced from how Austin FC looked. This is probably our best first half performance since those 6 games that happened in the summer, which we had 4 wins out of the 6. But in our defense, they were ready. You were like prepared to see what was going to happen, and you could see the only mistake happened was from Julio Cascante's PK mistake. But the second half starts and it's the same situation, but this time LA Galaxy was 10 times much more difficult than Austin FC. But you could see how ready they were to score their second goal, the tying goal. But our defense, again, they were ready to know what was going to happen. They knew exactly what was going to happen, because you see Valencia ready right there. He didn't mess up any moments or mess up every time. So for Austin FC, nothing much happened. We had a lot of shots, but our best opportunity came when Rigoni's solo goal. Around the 75th minute, we see Alex Ring give an assist pass to Danny Pereira. Danny Pereira sees Rigoni, but Rigoni, before that, he's offside. So he gets back in line, beats Maya Yoshida in a run-up, beats 2 other LA Galaxy players. As good as Rigoni is with his run-up, we all know how good he is with a shot, but this time, good power and a good shot. He scores a 3rd goal. Austin FC is winning 3-1, and you realize that this is a really good game for Austin FC. We haven't seen this type of situation, this type of performance, like a full 75 minutes ever since back in the summer. But you think to yourself, a 3-1 score, we're going to defend in the back. Well, this is where the worst part comes, because Riusi is injured, and instead of bringing someone to defend the score, Josh Wolf makes his questionable substitutions. He brings in Urruti, Memo Rodriguez, Redis, and Urruti, 4 players who you think he wants to score another goal, but with a 3-1 score, to me, that's a solid win. We have defended. The only player I was convinced that could support more in the attack was Memo Rodriguez. That way, we could push out mostly. Memo Rodriguez was the only player who was convinced that way we could give Driussi a break. But the other 3 substitutions were necessary, because that really bit us right in the ass. 2 goals in less than 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes were the game right there. The second goal came from, Julio Cascante, not been the best player since coming back, but he's not good at dribbling or, beating someone in the run or run up. So he loses the fight to Billy Sharp. Billy Sharp does a good cross in the air to Stefan Joveljic. Joveljic hits it in 3-2. Austin FC is still winning the match with at least 9 minutes of those additional minutes. But on the other side is the same situation, the same problem. Leo Weissen does not pressure Perez, number 56, the youngster, does a good cross in the air, sees Michael Barrios. Michael Barrios, as fast as him and Memo Rodriguez were going at it, but Rodriguez loses the fight. Michael Barrios does a header. Boom. Austin FC has now choked the match in a 3 and draws the match to LA Galaxy, a 3-3 score. I was convinced from how good Austin FC was. I know I've said this, but we look better. We haven't seen this type of Austin FC since the summer with those 6 games. But the one thing that frustrates the most is Josh Wolf's way of substitutions. You don't bring players to attack. You bring players to defend that 3-1 score. Hell, bring in Brandon Craig and you could just park the bus with him back 5 with 2 midfield players defending. The 6 could have been Johan Valencia and Danny Pereira. But again, Josh Wolf, again, does not have a good idea how to make substitutions and how to defend a 2-goal lead. But at the end of the day, I was left confused and a bit disappointed from how bad Austin FC was in those last 10 minutes. But other than that, hope you guys understood this video. My name is Manuel Maxon17, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.